It's certainly been an interesting year for the Destiny franchise. Bungie split off from Activision, and as soon as they did, they put out some of the game's best content with the Season of Opulence and saw a large resurgence with players returning in droves. But now the real test of Bungie's independence is here. The all-new expansion Shadowkeep, which raised a few eyebrows not only because Bungie was open about recycling content from the first game, but would coincide with a free-to-play relaunch of the base game. Needless to say, there was a lot that had the potential to go wrong for both parts of this launch, and add more to the list of Destiny 2's blunders. Yet, that didn't happen, and I dare say, Shadowkeep is easily one of the best expansions Bungie has put out for this game yet, and if you'd be so kind as to hold off installing the base game, I'll tell you why. Shadowkeep sees us return to the moon, where the warlock Eris Morn has made a horrifying discovery tied to the collapse of human civilization and the darkness. Now you need to breach the Crimson Keep of the Hive, face the nightmares that are being unleashed, and discover the mysteries behind Morn's discovery. A great setup for a narrative, clear-cut goal to work towards with a spooky atmosphere in time for Halloween. However, it's undermined by two shortcomings. For one, the bulk of the story just feels like you're pissing around. You're still working toward your goal, but it just feels like you're going around doing busy work that's detached from the narrative. The other issue is the ending, which just comes out of nowhere. Even when you know it's coming, its sudden appearance and abrupt end just left me confused and wondering where the rest of it was. Something that isn't helped by the fact the ending just raises more questions while setting up, if not another expansion, the story of Destiny 3. Now, while there isn't a whole lot of meat to this story, what we do get is good, and it features some scenes that I'm sure had the die-hard fans gripped in their seats.
The nightmare of Omnigul is taken care of. For now, anyway.
Story aside, the new additions to the game are much better. The new Moon Zone feels like a cross between a post-apocalyptic Earth and hell on Earth, with the Hive-infected areas looking suitably demonic, which I suspect were inspired by Doom. However, this zone is recycled from Destiny 1, but changes were made to represent the flow of time. I never got to play the first Destiny, so I can't comment on how different it really is. We've also got these new Nightmare quests and hunts. The former are dedicated to loot quests that require 2 standard objectives plus 1 new objective, a treasure hunt, where you explore the moon's areas to try and find a key item to finish your new weapon. This is awesome because it incentivizes you to organically search and explore the moon and its activities. The hunts, on the other hand, aren't anything entirely new. They're a combination of the strikes and the nightfall, where you fight ghosts of past Destiny bosses, like the Fanatic or Dark Below's Crota. These are more geared towards the new endgame, with a wide variety of difficulties and mutators to go along with them, and they do demand the player make use of specialized gear to be the most effective. There's a good deal of fun to be had with these, and they can also tie into the quests.
Guardian, with caution.
Now seems like the best time to talk about the relaunch. Called New Light, it brought a significant number of changes to the game alongside what Shadowkeep brought to the table. For one, now the base game and the first 2 expansions are available 100% for free, with every new expansion no longer requiring the previous ones to be played. We also now have finishing moves to take out weakened enemies in a quick and stylish manner, and you can get the new finishes either by playing or through the Eververse store, which itself is now much more you buy what you want through and through, with loot boxes no longer being the main source of rewards. Armor received a gigantic overhaul, and now individual gear can be upgraded not only to improve it, but to support multiple mods to enhance it, which have an impact on player stats like mobility or HP recovery, for example. The character intro from 1 as well has been repurposed to take place in 2's time frame, and while this does seem lazy, it is still a marked improvement over the old character intro, where your character was just flying around doing whatever before being called back to the city. However, not all of the changes have been for the good. With Activision no longer footing a portion of the bill, Bungie is now solely responsible for keeping this game running, and this has led to some server issues. During my time with Shadowkeep, I experienced at least once either a server disconnect, a game crash, or lagging. This wasn't enough to hurt my time with the game, but it does show that without Activision's cash flow, the quality of life has suffered to a degree. And if not addressed in a timely manner, I do worry this could grow into a much bigger problem and kill this game. So I do hope that Bungie manages to address this now while it's still small and tolerable. Now, the last thing I have to say about this expansion is the Vex Offensive, a new smaller narrative and seasonal event that ties into the new leveling system and battle pass. To put it simply, the Vex are getting ready for an attack on the Traveler, so you need to get into their lair and again stop them. This is represented with a seasonal PvE activity, and it's great. It's very fast paced and frantic as you try to beat out the timers and work your way towards the end boss before they leave the activity. The location of the activity as well was a treat for veteran Destiny players, since it entails a return to the Black Garden from the first game. As for the tie-in battle pass though, it functions just like the one from Fortnite. You buy this pass so you can earn extra rewards as you rank up, and really, there's nothing wrong with this. I like that I know what I'm earning as I play even without the pass, and I find it more rewarding than just being given a random loot box. I do get that some people may be put off by this monetization, but all things considered, it is fair. Bungie wouldn't need to look into new sources of revenue, and this is one of the less egregious, and for what it's worth, the extra loot that I got thanks to buying the expansion, it's nice. Overall, I've enjoyed Shadowkeep in spite of the flaws holding it back. It's a nice addition to Destiny 2 that adds plenty to the experience alongside the changes brought with the New Light relaunch. If you've been curious about what Destiny 2 is like now, want to know more, now is the perfect time to grab the base game and at least try out one of the best grind fests on the market.
We find a way inside.
Well, it's finally done, my review of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. I want to apologise for how long this has taken. Recently, I've come down with a terrible cold. It's prevented me from getting any work done on my backlog, and because of this, I won't be taking a look at any new movies next week, just so that I'll have time to actually get caught up on Joker, El Camino, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. However, I will still be moving forward with a review of The Outer Worlds as soon as possible. So I've got all that and more coming up, so please stick around.